and welcome to Men at the Movies, the YouTube channel. Across the screen for me is Britt Mooney, and we're doing a piece. We're doing a little bit here on Die Hard because, Britt, I know it's been a while. You may not remember, but we apparently recorded for 2 hours talking about Die Hard, and I couldn't do that to our podcast listeners again of re-airing a 2-hour episode. But one of the pieces, one of the elements that you brought up from the original episode was this idea, this conversation about Argyle. And for those of you who don't remember, Argyle was the limo driver who picked up John McClean from the airport. And so you were saying, you talked about how Argyle was actually a really interesting key character in the movie that we unfortunately he just didn't quite make the cut on the big conversation for the podcast. So what made you love Argyle as a character so much?
Well, when you look at the movie, John McClane finds love again in the context of purpose, of getting back in the fight. And that's kind of the main part of what we were talking about with the movie. But then when you look at Argyle is literally in the middle of the battle. Argyle is literally right in the basement of this building where people are dying and there's explosions. And it's funny when we watch it, and that's what makes it interesting. That's why they keep cutting back to it, because he's calling his girl, and he's got the teddy bear, and he's rocking out, and he's doing all his line isn't cut. He actually has a line to the outside, right. But yet the music was loud. He didn't know there was a battle going on until it came on the TV in the limo. And I find that interesting because we have to be really careful with our consumerism and our self-entertainment, because entertainment can be great. Like, we have a whole podcast where we go over the why stories matter.
Right.
Like we talk about it a lot, but at the same time, entertainment can make us numb to what's really happening in life. And this is something that I'm talking about with my son right now. He's 16, and I know it's normal, but I don't want a normal son. I want a son who can change the world, and he's not going to change the world by being numb and entertained. And I actually had a dream. I don't have many of these, but I had a dream from God one time. And I knew it was from God when I woke up, because I was like, I don't know what that meant. And I had to think about it. But I could feel it from the Spirit. I was like, that's from God. And it's kind of scared me. But in the dream, I was watching television. Okay. And as I'm watching television, stuff is happening to my family in the other room, and I don't do anything about it. My house starts crumbling from the outside in, and I'm doing nothing. All of this is happening, and I'm completely just watching television, doing nothing to help my family, to help my house. And it scared me, because I was like, God, do I do this? And I actually went on a fast for years. Like, I fasted until God told me I could stop. I stopped going to movies in the theater, and I stopped buying DVDs. I was like, I'm going to stop. Not that I didn't stop watching TV or watching movies or anything. I had to give myself some boundaries, because I was like, Father, what am I doing? And so we have to be careful about our entertainment, because we have a world that wants to entertain us. They want to drug us into submission. And they might not even be doing it on purpose, but they are doing it. Right. And that's part of what social media does. That's part of what, there's people who are making money dividing us on both sides, and they are happy that we're divided. The devil is happy that we're divided. Like we have to be aware of that there's this bigger battle going on. And sometimes that means just stopping and
Yeah.
being quiet and listening to God and paying attention. And Argyle, as great as he was, and he's a fun character, but it was such a revelation to me because of my past and my experience of realizing, man, how am I being intentional about what I'm doing? Because with entertainment and consuming things, we can very easily let those things control us. And I just thought it was a warning, but also important to realize there is a much bigger battle going on. There's a much bigger story.
Right.
And John McClean found his redemption there. And in the end, so did Argyle.
Yeah.
Once
Argyle
he
had a
finally
role to
did get
play.
awakened to the battle, now he has a role to play, and we all do. So there you go. That's it.
It's great. And, you know, for me, a few weeks ago, I actually did a similar fast where I said, okay, I'm not going to look at I didn't go on any social media. I didn't watch the news, really didn't do much of anything, you know, stayed off the internet. So if it wasn't watching movies, I was reading, you know, so I'm not killing time scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or just mindlessly looking at ESPN or anything like that. And what I found was not only was my home a lot more peaceful, I was a lot more peaceful, and I had time to do stuff. Like I read a lot. I did a lot of work around the house because if you don't have that sort of mindless distraction where hours end up disappearing, then you actually have time. And how many people could use an extra 30 minutes a day, an hour a day to do something that actually is beneficial? So this has been Paul McDonald and Britt Mooney talking about Argyle from Die Hard on the Minute the Movies, the YouTube channel. Check us out down below, subscribe, like us, do all the things. We got the links down there. Listen to our full episode of the podcast from Die Hard, and celebrate Christmas here early in the summer. And we hope you join us next time here on Minute the Movies, the YouTube channel.
This is their idea of Christmas. I gotta be there for New Year's.